Alright, so quick review of probability of events, okay, that are mutually exclusive. That means that they do not depend on each other. Okay. So let's say we're flipping a coin and rolling a die. Okay. I want to know the probability of heads and an even number. In order to do this, I'm going to have to multiply the probability of heads times the probability of an even number. Okay, now find the probability of heads. I look at the coin. A coin has two sides, heads and tails. Heads is one option out of the two options. Now I have to look at the probability of getting an even number off of a six-sided die. Well, there are three even numbers, 2, 4, and 6, out of 6 total options. So the probability of flipping a coin and getting heads and rolling a die, getting an even number, will be 1/2 times 3 6, which is also 1/2, which will equal 3 over 12, or 1/4. Okay, so 25% of the time we should roll an even number and have a coin land on heads. So for this example, I'm trying to find the probability for flipping for heads twice and rolling an odd number on a die. So there are 3 events here. The first event is flipping for heads. The second event, again, is flipping for heads because we want to flip for heads twice. And the third event is rolling for an odd number. To find the probability of doing all 3 of these things, we're going to multiply the probability of all 3 of them to find the probability of heads and an odd number. So the probability of flipping for heads is half the time because 2 sides on a coin, one side is heads. Again, probability is the same for flipping for heads again. And then to flip for an odd number, it's 3 out of 6 because 1, 3, and 5 are odd numbers out of a 6-sided die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're then going to multiply all these together. 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4 because 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do is multiply the top. So 1 times 1 is 1, times 3 is 3. Multiply the bottom. 2 times 2 is 4, times 6 is 24. So the probability is 3/24, or 1/8. So 12.5% of the time, because that's what 1/8 is, 12.5% of the time, we can roll an odd number and flip for heads twice. So we need to determine probability for this or that. That means, say I am drawing from a basic 52 card deck, right? What is the probability of drawing a 9 or a 2? Okay? Now, because drawing a 9 or a 2 are two things that are not the same, okay? I can't draw one card and it be a 9 and a 2. So because they're not the same, we're going to take the probability of finding a 9, we're going to add it to the probability of finding a 2, and that will equal the probability of finding a 9 or a 2. Okay, now, in a regular deck, there are 4 cards of each number. There's a heart, a spade, a club, and a diamond. Okay, so the probability for drawing a 9, 4 cards out of 52. And then the probability of drawing a 2 is a separate 4 cards out of the 52. So to find the probability of a 9 or a 2, we're going to add them together. We're going to get 8 divided by 52. And then that can be reduced to 2 over 13. Okay? So, use my calculator real quick. About 15% of the time, I will draw a 9 or a 2. Okay? Sorry, to determine the probability of drawing a club or a spade, for a club, there are 13 clubs out of the 52 cards. Right? So the probability of drawing a club will be 13 of 52. The probability of drawing a spade, again, is 13 of 52. And all we're going to do is add those together to find the probability of drawing a club or a spade. 13 plus 13 is 26 over 52, which is 1/2. So 50% of the time, I will draw a club or a spade.